Or maybe we should go with something that Joseph Fritzl said. We've got the tenants upstairs, comedy in the basement, so let's have some fun. Now, last week was the 6th anniversary of Madeleine McCann going missing. But this week is the 6th anniversary of her reappearing with new hair, a new Arabian father, and an arsehole probably about 4 inches wider. Now, it's not really going to get much better. I mean, no one really knows what happened to that kind of thing. I mean, it's all sort of media speculation, but I'm pretty sure that there was a Coronation Street special coming out of the Argarve in about 2007. You know, Ken Barlow and all that. But of course today we've got the whole Jimmy Tarbuck thing that's come out. He hosted a show in the 80s called From Her Majesty's. Now he's making a remake. It's barely alive, From Her Majesty's Pleasure. But of course we've got all this stuff in the media. I mean, the more that we're sort of thrown at it, the more that it's shoved down our throats, the more we believe it to be the truth. You know, all this Madeleine McCann stuff. Let's face it, we don't really want to be thinking about what's been shoved down Maddie's throat in the last few years. Anyway, talking about prepubescent sluts, Hello Kitty has got to be the sluttiest kitten since Kerry Katona. I mean, that shit's just out of control. I mean, you see it everywhere you go. I mean, sort of like Hello Kitty spaghetti hoops, Hello Kitty chocolate, Hello Kitty crisps. You know all that is a fucking cat with a bone in its head. I mean, the toys and the sort of clothes are aimed at children, and that's all fair enough. But I think it's when you see sort of like grown women going about with sort of on their t-shirts and their bag, you just got to think, wait a minute, you know, these sort of girls as slutty as the actual brand itself. I mean, probably take it up the arse, a lot of them. I'm thinking with so much Hello Kitty stuff out there, I was a bit surprised there wasn't actually any porn that I could find. And I have tried. That's easily the best thing about private browsing. And also why I don't take out an extended warranty at PC World. 3 years extended accidental damage cover when I spilled fluid in this. Think I'm bringing it anywhere near you? I've learned for Gary Glitter's mistakes. So it's been while, I don't know, I've been sort of private browsing on a lonely Sunday afternoon. I'm sort of curtains drawn, clean exit ready. And girls, if your boyfriend says that he's never done this, then he's a liar. Because remember that time that you sort of come home kind of a bit earlier than you said, and just as you're about into the living room, you heard a bit of a kerfuffle, and then you went in, and there was sort of a blank laptop there, and looking a wee bit shifty, and Murder, She Wrote suddenly appeared on the telly. That's basically what happens when a bit of panic sets in, and we're getting a bit of a salvage operation going on. Well, either that, or you should dress up as a widow's 80 detective in the bedroom that he clearly likes. But while I'm on Jessica Fletcher, I mean, what was the deal with her anyway? She wrote murder mystery novels, but she solved real life ones. I mean, there's over 250 episodes of that stuff, and not once did the police think it a wee bit iffy that she was always hanging about when murder was afoot. I mean, 250, I mean, that strike rate makes Harold Shipman look like Lorraine Kelly. Another thing with her as well, I mean, I reckon after every time she's framed somebody, I don't know, some art dealer or theatre director or something like that, she'd go way back to her wee brother keyboard, sort of doom 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 doom, fucking cackling away maniacally while she's eating her victims' genitals and cracker breads and drinking her blood. Ending each chapter, all work and no play makes Jessica a dull boy. While we're on misconceptions in television though, Fonzie out of Happy Days, I mean, he wasn't cool. He was a paedophile, right? And let's look at it. He was always trying to chat up teenage girls when he was clearly in his 30s. He had some sort of refuge hiding out thing going on in Mr. Cunningham's attic, and his office was in a toilet. And if he was so cool, how come he hung about with fuckwits like Richie Cunningham, Potsy and Ralph Mann? I mean, I bet if he was about today, and he took his PC to PC World or whatever, there'd be a few questions raised there. But I mean, to be honest, I think I'm alright in that score. I'm just a regular pervert. I mean, I don't think his son's going to whip up any hate campaign with the contents of my hard drive. But there are some things, I mean, I've seen 2 girls, 1 cup, you know what I mean? But it's not exactly something to go off on, I don't think. too short for a start. But there are things out there that do kind of make me wonder a little bit. I mean, who actually gets off on, I don't know, seeing someone losing their wristwatch while fisting an arsehole, I don't know, wanking off a horse, or seeing some girl snort off a line of feces? I mean, that stuff is out there. I mean, how much crystal meth must some of these girls actually be on? The one thing that really did sort of get me is the kind of the animated porn, which is why, with all the stuff out there, I was surprised there was no Hello Kitty stuff. You know, what with her being a massive slut and all. But there was this one thing that I did come across, that was a kind of Simpsons sort of one. And the sort of thumbnail depicted, it was Marge atop Bart with Principal Skinner taking her from behind. Now, just imagine that for a second. Is there not anything more disturbing than the thought of your mum on top of you while your old headmaster is taking her from behind? I mean, someone clearly gets off on it. And, I mean, those sort of people would really put sort of the things Oedipus to do, make it seem absolutely normal. I mean, I wonder if he went sort of that wee extra bit further, who his Principal Skinner would be. Do you think it'd be Aristotle, Plato? Surely it'd have to be Homer. I'm the actual fucking joking the whole thing. But anyway, while I was doing my sort of research for this, I was surprised that I didn't see more sort of homegrown sluts on the net. And I'm not talking about sort of your stuff in Channel 990 and Above in Sky. I mean, these girls wouldn't know bukkake if it come up and spunked all over their face. Then their hair, then their ear, then their eyes. Not know what bukkake is. Sorry, me and a few of the boys will show you later. Well, basically what it is when a fella sort of gets his old chap over a girl and gives her a bit of a... It's not the Phantom of the Opera sort of over the girl. It's more of 5 or 6 guys giving them a whole sort of chasing out a Friday the 13th kind of all over mask. That's basically the easiest way I can put it. I mean, we've got all these unwanted pregnancies in this country, and I mean, one of the highest in Europe, but obviously we've got a whole lot of kind of wee dirties out there not sort of taking protection. But basically I think what we can do to sort of solve this would be to, well, boost the economy of the porn in this country by getting them filmed, getting them taken up the arse. I mean, I was recently in Mothercare and I seen, quite ironically, that the girls that were serving were actually under the age of consent. I mean, it's nothing like getting the experts in to know your product. But what we should do, as I say, sort of get all these wee dirties that are clearly out there, boost the economy of porn in the country, by getting them filmed taken up the arse. Now, if you think this is frankly an unlikely scenario, next time you're out and about, just see how many girls are wearing Hello Kitty t-shirts, and then you'll know the potential. Anyway, my name's Iain MacDonald, thanks for listening.